Oh, and it's worked again. We get so much speed out of there. It's up to P4. We are going to get so many points if we can hold on to this. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing okay, and if you're new here, thanks for joining us. Welcome back to F1 2020 and episode 5 at Skid Marks Racing. So the next Grand Prix we have is the Dutch Grand Prix, and before we go there we've got a few things to sort out. So because we've reached acclaim level 5, we now have a third sponsor available to us, so let's go and sign them. So doing what I did last time, which is basically just looking at the total weekly income amount and then just choosing one of the top ones from there. We have a choice between Moon and Seren, yeah. But we're going to go with Moon or Mooney because it gives us a better goal bonus of achieve and hold first position for 4 laps. Oh, that's quite tricky. Oh well, let's go with Mooney. Good, so they're added now. Okay, so we've added Mooney to our car, so it's at the back quarter of the car, if you could say that, just below the engine, or where the engine would go. It's where the engine cover is, basically. And it's also right at the front of the car, which looks fantastic. We also have just over 1,000 R&D points, so let's go and spend some of those as well. So we can't do any of the engine parts as we're still developing, what is that, the cylinder head? So we've got that in development. Again, we can't do any aerodynamics as we are doing front wing main flap, which is in development. We can't do any chassis either because we don't have the facility upgrade to do that yet, which is also really good. So it's going to have to be durability. So let's go with the ICE and develop that. So it does have a 40% chance of failing, which is quite high. And it's going to arrive on Wednesday the 6th of May. We also have 1.95 million to spend, so I want to improve some of the facilities, so I think I'm going to go with the fitness centre and the personnel development, which increases the second driver, i.e. a Lacey, with their awareness and racecraft, is that? Yep, so we're going to do that, and that will arrive on the 25th of April. So I think the only thing left to do is sort out our timeline prior to the next Grand Prix. We also have a press interview, which I've got no idea what that is, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, so that's all of the schedule sorted, so let's just go and advance some time. Okay, so we got to the press interview part. I guess we're just going to go and find out what it's all about. Yeah, I quite like Lacey, we're going to support him. We are going for titles this season. No, we're not. That one. That's the realistic one. Not up till now, but sure. No, I want the team to do well. We've already started the season well. About 5 races in. A solid midfield team. Yeah. Let's go with that.
It's been wonderful to spend some time with you. Best of luck out on track.
Peace, Will. Right, whilst we're advancing time, I'm pretty sure I saw that we had done the cylinder head, which we have. So our engine's quite good now, or getting better anyway. But I don't think we've got enough resource points to do anything else at this point. That's not good. The front wing has failed, so we are going to see if we can get that back in time for the weekend, but I don't think we will. Oh, it's going to take another week. So I'll be here just before the Spanish Grand Prix. That's a bit annoying. Right, but the fitness centre's been done, so that's good. Okay, let's go racing at the Dutch Grand Prix. Okay, so looking at the weather forecast, it looks like the beginning of the race is going to be wet. Yeah, that is going to be interesting race-wise. So we've still got the original engine parts fitted, because obviously we're going into practice, but I do need to remember to put a new engine in for the race, as I was supposed to do last weekend, which somehow didn't hinder us that much, but who knows. Okay, let's go to FP1. So in practice 1 we did a lot of track acclimatization, just getting used to the track, as it is a new circuit to this F1 game this year, and for that reason I'm not very good at it yet. So I know I said this in my previous video, I think the Vietnam Grand Prix, where if you're struggling to learn a track, what you can do in practice is watch your teammate and see what gears he's in and when he brakes, which is really useful and it can help you get quicker and quicker. So that's another top tip by Jumbo, or the same top tip depending on which way you look at it. No, it's definitely the same top tip, but oh well. Okay, so the car setup we've got at the moment is 410 for the wings, just so the rear is nice and stable. Transmission is 60% and 50%. Suspension geometry, front camber is minus 2.5 and minus 1. The front toe is 0.05 and the rear toe is 0.20. Suspension is 1 and 3. Anti-roll bars is 3 and 10, and the front ride height is 2 and 4. Brakes, we've got the brake pressure 100% and the front brake bias is 50%. So it basically means that we are less likely to lock the front brakes going into a corner, which is really helpful. Tyres, the front tyres are 22.2 psi and the rear tyres are 19.9. Due to it being a wet race, I might run a wet setup, which will probably be 11 wings, just so we've got max downforce. Maybe 9-11 for wet weather actually. I'll probably turn the diff all the way down, just so that there's less chance of us spinning out. Suspension geometry probably would keep the same. Suspension, I probably would max out the ride height just so that we've got maximum drag is the word I'm looking for. And I think that's about it for a wet weather setup. That's probably all I would change at the moment. So at the end of practice 2, we ended up 12th, which is slap bang in the middle of the field. Right about where I think we actually are. So pace wise, if we look at Lance Stroll, who's in a racing point, this is before they've had a buff, because Ferrari is still crazy good on this game for some reason at the moment. And if we look at Lacey as well, we're thereabout. Having said that though, Lacey's on the soft tyre and I was on the medium and I was quicker. So maybe we've got some serious pace this weekend. So at the end of practice 3, we ended up 14th, but we were running a wet weather setup as it looks like it's going to rain at the beginning of the race. So Jeff has sent us through the weather forecast. It hasn't changed, so it looks like it's going to be a very dry or an overcast qualifying session, and then the race is going to start off wet, then be overcast, and then end up dry towards the end. With that being the case, I'm going to run a wet setup in qualifying, so I won't be as quick, but hopefully we'll be quicker in the race, as the race is more important, as that's where you get points. Also this time we are going to change our engine, as I've remembered to do it. So there we are, we have every component now number 2 instead of number 1. Good. So with that all set up, let's go and put in our first lap. Okay, coming around the last corner to put in our flying lap now. DRS open, let's go for it. So down to gear 3 for turn 1, we use the camber to help us get around, cut that a bit too soon. 50 metre board turn in, I've turned in late. Down to gear 2 here, follow this all the way around, a very banked corner. And then this is an easy bit, just follow this through the S's. Hold it in 7, turn in, drop down to 6th, hold it. Back up to 7, then into 6 again over here, try not to cut that too much. Down to gear 3. A 50 metre board again, down to gear 3, hold it. DRS open, over revved it a little bit there, short shifted as well, down to 3 again, then immediately down to 2, kept this nice and tight, back up to 3 quickly, now traction down, 50 metre board down to 5, and now this is the easy bit, put your foot down and let the car do the work. DRS open and over the line, we have done a 1:12.4. Okay, so with about 2 minutes to go, we are currently P13, which is very good, and we are going to try and get another lap in just before the end of the session. Hopefully we don't crash into the back of someone again. Oh no, we obviously left it too late to get out of the garage. Right, so I've been a monumental bellend and obviously left it way too late to actually get out and do another lap. My thinking was if I leave it later, hopefully I won't get into traffic coming out the pits. I won't be held up and have an accident with Ocon probably. But obviously got the timing wrong and didn't get a chance to do it. Anyway, we have qualified P14 with our teammate down in 19th. Overall I'm fairly happy with that, as I think we're going to be much quicker than the rest of the field going into tomorrow's race due to the wet setup.
It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. 2.6 miles then make up a lap here at a wet Zandvoort circuit, where some tricky braking zones and sudden drops can make it all too easy to slide off into the gravel. There are 14 corners overall and a 678-metre main straight, providing the best chance for overtaking. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth.
What a joker, Crofty.
Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are three big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Albon, Perez, Ricciardo, Sainz and Lando Norris, Ocon, Stroll, Kimi Raikkonen, Wang, Fiat,
Get in
Magnussen,
there.
Antonio Giovinazzi and Roman Grosjean, Alesi, Gasly, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
I think we've done an absolute touch here with our wet weather setup. It's quite wet, so I think this has gone massively in our favour. By the looks of it, we are going to try and not stop, which would be very useful, but it also depends how quickly the track dries out. But looking at it, it's quite wet, so this is going to be fun. Alright, let's go racing. And we're off. Oh, what a start. Oh no, don't do that, Sainz. Norris even. We've sent one up the inside. Oh, we've got massive more grip than the rest of the field here. Yep, sorry about that, Sainz. Oh, sorry, Ricciardo. Oh, we're going to go around the outside, are we? Oh, this has been monumental so far. Oh no, why did I do that? What a start. Unbelievable.
Nice start. Let's keep it up.
Unbelievable start, Jeff. I am a genius. Oh god, oh what a move.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
It was quite easy, Jeff, actually. Oh, he's all over the back of me though. Oh, it's that purple last sector as well. Oh, I could have broke later then. Just being a wimp. Oh, if we could get up with these boys, these are the top 6 really, aren't they? Well, top 3 teams. Though Ferrari shouldn't really be there, but we'll gloss over that for the time being.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
So back to dry shortly. Right, we might become a bit more of a sitting duck then. we've done exactly the same thing what we did to Perez there. Just absolutely out-tractioned him. He's going to be all over my butt though, Verstappen. Come on Vettel, show me what you got. Oh, down to gear 1, that was a bad idea. Nah, I didn't really catch him. We had a bad last sector. I'm going to try doing the same thing again. Oh, and it's worked again. We get so much speed out of there. So up to P4, we are going to get so many points if we can hold on to this. We've gone purple first sector. Well, this has worked out much better than I could have ever thought. And we might get Bottas here as well. Right, if you want to do well, get a good setup for your car. Because we have done that in this race and it has made all the difference. We could be looking at a podium here.
Hey, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Right, we might be a bit screwed now. Because it's all of a sudden just stopped raining, and they've come in. Currently P3, means Hamilton's pitted. Come on Jeff, bring me in if you think it's a change of setup. Or change of strategy. Lacey's in as well.
Giuliano is coming in for his stop.
Oh, I've got an itchy nose too. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh. Right, we're coming in for softs. Right, come on. Let's see if we can do this. This has got to be a good one. We've got to get out in front of Verstappen. Come on, come on, change.
Exit now. You'll be racing.
Whey! Did it?
Exit now.
Oh, we're going side to side with Vettel. Right, I think we're going to be a sitting duck now because we have got a wet setup on a dry track. Right, they're going to have DRS, so I am going to defend this, but I think we're alright already. I don't know why we came on the softs, because these are just going to die towards the end of the race. Oh, I don't think that was the right move.
Ahead is 3.0 seconds.
Come on Seb, a bit of contact there. That's a bit cheeky there, Max. Oh, I hope we don't go too far backwards though, because we are very slow compared to everyone else now. If we can hold this position...
3.0 seconds.
Yeah, so they're just pulling away now, aren't they? We haven't got the setup to compete with them. In the dry, anyway.
We're catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
Jeff, it was 3 seconds last lap, but now it's 4 seconds. We are not catching the car ahead. We seem to be quite safe in P6 at the moment. Yeah, we can just kind of out-traction Perez before he can get anywhere near us, really. And there aren't too many overtaking places on this track as it is. We've set purple sector 3. That is impressive. He's closer than he's been for a while. Just over-revved it a bit.
The gap to the car ahead is 5.5 seconds.
Oh no! Oh, we just about got away with that, but...
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
But we might be a sitting duck. Ah, he's a bit too far back, I think. Oh, he's hit us. He hit us quite hard as well. What I am hoping is that Albon has caught up to Perez and is putting him under pressure as well. Yeah, I do need to check the tyres actually. Oh, they're quite bad, Jeff. Right, last 2 laps. Come on, let's try and keep him behind. Right, so we have got about 20% of energy the last lap. Come on, Jumbo. This will be an amazing result. He's close. Or closer than he normally is anyway. Oh, I'm concentrating so much. Let's put some of that. Some of the energy down. Down to gear 2, come on. Hamilton has 1. Right, come on. Come on. I think we've done it. Yes, boys. Get in there. Woo! What a result.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
6th place. You know it's driver of the day again. Man, Mercedes are absolutely dominating this championship so far. I think that's 5 for 5.
And they certainly deserve it.
What a race weekend it has been at the Dutch Grand Prix. We finished 6th, we qualified 14th, which wasn't too bad either. Just been really good. Lacey had a good race as well, started 19th and ended up 15th. I've just got to say though, that wet weather setup was unbelievable. We were out tractioning the Mercedes, the Red Bulls, the Ferraris. I think one point we're up to 3rd. With Hamilton pitted. Just unreal. So it says a lot. If you get your setup correct, you can be really quick on this game. Yeah, no one else had as much grip as us. I'm really glad I can live up to their expectations of my own expectations. It changed strategies, but the top drivers still perform at their best. Like Jumbo.
Appreciate your time.
No problem, man. Oh, we are pulling way ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi in our rivalry. Our acclaim's up to 5 as well. Get in there. So that will do it for episode 5. I do have to apologise. I forgot to go back over the race replay. So I couldn't get some of the shots that I normally would, which I'm quite annoyed about. So we just have to do with the onboard footage in this one, unfortunately. Overall, it was a very good weekend for Skid Marks Racing. Finishing 6th means we got a handful of points, which is always nice. And I just genuinely really enjoyed that track. I seem to pick it up very quickly, and it's just a great track to drive around. As I said a few times over this episode, having a car setup that suits you down to a T is really important. Just means that you can push the car that much harder, and your lap times will just come tumbling down and you'll get much closer to the AI. So from now on, I'm definitely going to do a custom setup every race weekend. If you enjoyed this episode, then definitely smash that like button, and if you'd like to see similar content, don't forget to subscribe. Oh yeah, I know, I sound like every other YouTuber out there, and I say this on every episode, but it does really help out a small channel just like this one, and it's free, so it doesn't cost you a single penny. As always in my videos, if you see anything I do well, or anything I do really badly, don't forget to let me know in the comments. Okay, that's all for me. I'll see you in the next one.